New, 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 new,
Yeah.
new, 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 new.
Okay, so we have the Ultimaker 2.
Plus.
That's right.
What's new about it? I have no idea because I didn't read the copy because it went in the store just like an hour ago.
Yeah.
But the Ultimaker now, we have the 2 Plus. It's better, probably like better resolution. I think maybe even a larger size or something. Check out the specs. The Ultimaker is the one of the nicest 3D printers on the market.
Yeah.
It has consistently ultra high quality prints, but you can also change out the nozzle if you want to have it go faster. But it's like the highest precision prints we've seen, other than a resin printer, always come from an Ultimaker. So we're glad to be selling it. So check it out. It's a super fine printer. You know, it's not the least expensive printer. It's not the most open source printer, but I think it's like, you know, the highest quality printer in that price zone. So
Yeah.
if you're looking for a good printer, check it out.
Okay, a few things about it. Build plate.
Has a heated build plate, glass.
Yep.
Assisted leveling processed. Uses fused filament, so you know, PLA and all that good stuff. There is a good quality print head. It has an integrated platinum sensor, geared feed. It can do 24 cubic millimeters a second. Comes with, I guess, a couple different nozzles.
Yeah.
It takes a minute to heat up. Can do PLA, ABS, or CPE. You can standalone 3D print from an SD card or tethered. It comes with all sorts of stuff. We use it with Cura. It's all good stuff.
So, selected by our experts. We check out all the printers. The ones we stock are the ones that we think are the best.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is a nice one. Really beautiful too.
Alrighty, next up. What's this thing?
This is from Particle, and this is the Particle Photon programming shield. So, you know, the Electron it probably works with the Electron as well, but the Particle Photon and Core use an STM32 processor as the main processor. The original, I keep forgetting the name. The Particle Photon, the Particle Core. The Core had a CC3000 STM32 processor. The Photon has a module with the STM32 built in. But either way, you probably are like, well, maybe I don't want to use the IDE to program. You don't use the cloud-based IDE, you want to program it directly. Well, in that case, you might want to use the programming shield. So the programming shield, you can see over there, you plug in your Particle Core Photon, and then down here, there's an FTDI chip. It's an FT2232, which is kind of like the near standard for JTAG interfacing with like an STM processor. There's like OpenOCD support and all that good stuff. So basically it gives you debugging and programming support. So if you want to like raw program the chip or debug with it, the FT2232 is supported by like kind of all the tools that you'd want, all the open source tools. And so this lets you go in and hack and mod the core, especially if you're a more advanced user and you don't want to use the Arduino IDE and you want to write code natively. You can do so. You can sign up with Broadcom, get access to the APIs, and then write the code raw if you don't want to have to deal with the cloud. So some people ask for that capability, and this gives you that capability.
Okay. Next up, we have a video of all of the NeoPixel shields.
So these are, we're continuing on our RGBW quest.
Yeah. So
we have historically had RGB NeoPixels, you know and love them, and we have a shield with 8x5 40 NeoPixels on it. It's a lovely little shield that fits on an Arduino. And we've updated it now to also come in 3 other versions with RGBW NeoPixels, and our NeoPixel library supports RGBW. And what's neat is you actually have 4 LEDs per pixel: red, green, blue, and then white. And for people who are really picky about their white LEDs, they're like, well, you know, what is the color temperature? Well, that's why we have 3 different versions, because we've got cold temperature LEDs, which I think is like 6,000. We have neutral, which I think is about 3,500, and warm, which is about like 2,000 or something. You can check the exact product specs to see the approximate Kelvin temperature. But basically what you get is, and I can show this on
It's got these cool videos, but we also have live demos. So
I have both.
Let's do the live demos.
So, yeah, thank you. So hold on, let me just make a little bit of space here. There's just a lot of LEDs today. So this is the overhead, and this. Oh, no
What
overhead.
happened?
I don't know.
We lost overhead.
We lost overhead.
Yeah.
Oh no. Well, it's okay. We can go back to the video.
Yeah.
Where'd you go?
Yeah, well, if you
don't
could-
need the video.
If you can unplug and plug that back in,
Yeah.
we'll try and guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Live
right.
demo.
Yeah. Well, we do have some photos anyway.
But we have great, that's
Yeah,
why I always
so-
have both. So this just shows RGB, and then this is the, if you give it a second. So yeah, this one is the warm white LEDs, so it's these warm white LEDs. The nice thing is it looks basically identical to the classic NeoPixel Shield. It just has an extra LED in it.
Try this again.
Oh no, it took only a photo, but then,
No,
no. All right, well,
doesn't like it.
video is fine.
Yeah. we'll just
Okay,
do these.
that's cool. So can you go to the next photo?
Yeah. Did you want to show any of the?
Yeah, we'll just keep going and show them all. So this is just the pieces. You get headers and stacking headers and stuff. And then this next photo shows the warm white LEDs. The RGB section is the same for all of them, but it's nice and warm. And then this one shows the neutral LEDs. So these LEDs are not warm, not cold. They're kind of in between. And here's showing like the cool. So if you compare that with warm is much yellower, neutral is cooler, it's kind of in between. And then we also have, can you go to the next one? Cool. And this is like daylight, it's like fluorescent or cold daylight. It's very bluish white LEDs. And I couldn't really decide which one to get. Should I only carry one? But we ended up just making one of sort of a little bit of each of them. So all the available ones are used. So pick which one you want. They all use the same library. You get to have whatever color temperature. And yeah, you basically get this beautiful white, because when you combine red, green, and blue LEDs, you never quite get a true white color. Okay, so it's the NeoPixel Shield.
All right, and then you got the matrix.
And then not one to stop at just 5x8 LEDs. We also updated the 8x8 LED matrices. So same thing. You basically have 64 LEDs, and you can chain these, of course, and have a grid, and they tile nicely if you want to have like a gridded display of some sort with RGBW LEDs. Go for it. This also is available in cool, 600 degree Kelvin, neutral. I like how we're in space or something. Like this is the end of 2001 Space Odyssey or something. It's full of RGBW stars. So you have cool over there, neutral and warm, and then of course the classic. It is a little more expensive for the RGBW, so if you don't need them, you don't have to pick them up. But yeah, you can have these beautiful LED effects. And let's just go quickly through them.
Sure.
Just check it out. So this is 8x8 LEDs. It's NeoPixel. It works with the NeoPixel library we have. RGB, and then warm white.
Yeah. What I can do is
You just skip
go
to the next one.
Ones, since it's
And this is going to be neutral. And then on the final video, the same RGB, and then cool. So
yeah.
3 different options.
Okay. And then we have some rings.
Yes, I forgot these last time. I did the 12, 16, and 12, 16, 24 LED rings, but I forgot to do the 60 LED quarter rings. So this lovely face, you can see. I don't even have these demos, so we'll just show the photos. But these come in. You can make like a really cool clock. Like you can see that the white LEDs are really, really bright, and they shine out compared to the RGB LED section. And what happens is you get these in quarter pieces and you solder them together. So you can actually make like a wavy sinusoid if you want. But yeah, you can have like cool white. I think this would be neat for clocks. There's 60 LEDs in the full ring. So when it's 15 per segment, solder 4 of them together, you get 60 LEDs. So a gigantic ring. Oh, hey, it's running, whatever you did. Magic.
Somehow, somewhere.
Yeah. So now you can see these live. They do the thing, and then you can see they're all white, but slightly different color temperature. So there you go. This one's yellower, colder, warmer. Okay, that's the RGBW, and that's it. We did all the products are now RGBW.
Okay. And is that permanent? Are you going to have that as part of the lineup?
Yeah, from now on, if we ever make anything with NeoPixel, I will also make RGBW versions.
Okay.
because I think it's cool, especially if you're wanting to do something with lighting. Because we had some projects where it's like we made like a ring light, and it's cool if you want to have color effects, but if you want to have something for photography, or you want to have some illumination, the white segment of the LEDs is definitely like the way to go, instead of trying to combine red, green, and blue together.
Gotcha. Do you know the wattage of the pixels?
Well, there's the lumens, but I don't remember. You can check the data sheet. Bright. I mean, like they're incredibly bright. If I had to super guess, it would be, about 6,000 millicandela total, which is pretty bright.
Yeah.
Note that a lot of LEDs lie about the color, the brightness. So when you're comparing to like, people are like, oh, but on eBay I can get like 50,000 millicandela LEDs. They're not really. They lie. It's really like 5,000.
Are we going to have feather NeoPixels? Interweaving some questions.
That's
here.
a good question. Yeah. So I'll tell you the deal. So here's the story of NeoPixels. So NeoPixels actually comprise multiple different companies that manufacture the LEDs. And historically, we've used the World Semi WS2812 and 2811 and 2812B and 12S. And those were fine and good, except that they only make RGB LEDs, so the classic LEDs that NeoPixels that you know and love. And this is why, by the way, we don't go by the part number, because it's just whatever's compatible with NeoPixel. And then another company came out with RGBW, same size, same basically pin compatible, but also doesn't have. It's a little bit. They reflow a little bit nicer as well, and so we use those now. That's the SK6812, and the SK6812 is also available in RGBW. The same company also manufactures a 3.5 by 3.5 millimeter NeoPixel LED, which we call the Mini NeoPixel, and it's just called the SK6812 Mini. I mean, it's not a very technical name. That's the part number, and that part number is available in RGB. It is not yet available in RGBW. So to answer your question, I'm getting there. If and when we get NeoPixels available in the 3.5 millimeter by 3.5 millimeter size with RGBW, I will make a feather NeoPixel one, because it'll just be a drop-in replacement. Okay. As is, I don't want to make two versions, one that's bigger, chunky LEDs and one that's thinner LEDs. So it's a little bit of a trade-off. But for other items, like strips, we definitely have available in RGBW.
Okay. All right.
Quite a story.
Careful what you ask.
This is what I live all day.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
like LED.
We got more stuff going on.
Yes. Okay. Sorry, hydration break. So this is a USB hub, and this is a very similar to a USB hub we already have in the shop. This USB hub. Oh, can you go back too?
You want to go back?
Yeah, because that's the photo. This hub, it's actually a 4-port hub, but instead of having the 4th port be like a USB, it's Ethernet. There's an Ethernet chip inside of it. So you basically get 3 USB ports plus Ethernet. And the chip inside is the AX8812 or something, I don't remember the exact part number. It's like the most universally supported Ethernet chip, and it's actually pretty fast too. It's not gigabit, but I think I got like, it's 100 megabit for sure, because I got like a 10 megabyte per second transfer rates on it, or more at 15 megabyte. It can do 10100, I think, and then you look at the data sheet for the chip if you want to know exact data rates. It's a USB 2.0 hub, and we already had this in the store, but the one we had in the store had a normal USB port. This has a micro USB on the go port. If you're wondering, well, wait a minute, that's like the wrong connector. Why on earth would I want that? You would want that if you were connecting it to a tablet or to a Raspberry Pi Zero. Can you go to the Pi Zero phone? Yeah, thank you. So a Raspberry Pi Zero has a on-the-go connector, and also some tablets and other single-board computers might also use a micro USB on-the-go connector. So this makes it really handy. You plug it directly into a Pi Zero, and you get Ethernet and USB ports. And so this way, if you want to get started with your Pi Zero and you have a Pi Zero and you save money on it, but you want to get it set up with internet and also connect mouse, keyboard, and accessories, you can use this, get everything set up, and then of course disconnect it once you're done and use the single USB port. But it's just convenient because it's plug and play, and it's completely natively supported by Linux as well as Mac and Windows, all that good stuff.
Okay. All right, next up, this is kind of neat. This is one of my favorite new products.
This is definitely awesome. Okay, so somebody actually emailed us and said, hey, you know, you should carry towered lights. And actually Phil and I were like, you're right, we should. These are really cool. I'd always kind of wanted them, but I never, for some reason I never thought like, hey, let's get them in the store. And it's neat, we put them in like the LED category because we don't have a category for this kind of stuff. But these are the lights that are on also our equipment, basically, same thing. They're used for signaling indicators. They're basically like a stoplight, like a traffic light, but fully symmetric. And these have some other cool things in them. So they have red, yellow, and green LEDs, and I'll hold them up after we show this off. And there's also a hinge, so you can position it. Isn't this neat? So you can have it like folded or straight up or in any angle. So it spent a little bit more. Got the really nice ones.
Okay, so you want to show this on which
I'll actually just hold this up because it's, hold on, except I kind of unplugged everything by accident. 1 second. I had a little breadboard action going on here. So how this works, and I'll show on the overhead as well, but this is just a nice way to demo it. Red is one LED, yellow other set of LEDs, and then green. And so you basically, you know, show a mode. So like, you know, Roberto in the show and tell was saying like, hey, I want to hook this up to my Jenkins or Travis, whatever. They're all named after people, I guess. Continuous integration software. So, you know, when the build works, it lights up green, and then if there's a continuous integration issue or the build fails, it turns red. And so people usually use like traffic lights, but traffic lights are really, really big and kind of a pain. This is much more compact. They can also use it like, you know, is your website down, or is somebody ringing the doorbell and you want to have like an indicator. So these are kind of fun things you can do. And then another thing that you can do that I will demo is there's a buzzer built into it. So really annoying if you want to have like the red light on and then it beeps, you can do that as well. So, you know, you get 3 LEDs and annoying beeping, and then of course it's symmetric all the way around, so you can see the LED all the way around. And then the way it works is you have 5 wires coming out of it, and it's detailed on the product page, but basically you need a 12-volt power supply. It's a 12-volt device. You can gut it if you want and put LEDs if you really need 5 volts support. Connect the 12-volt wire to orange, and then ground the red wire, turn on the red LED, yellow to turn on the green LED, green to turn on the green LED, and then brown to turn on the buzzer. So it's pretty straightforward. Just use a bunch of transistors, and you can go to town. So yeah, it's kind of nice. You can put this on the wall. Indicator, make your own machinery.
Okay.
That's
all right, but there is more.
Not one to stop. I also decided to carry a simple one. This is basically identical, except it only has the red LED, the red indicator lens, and the buzzer. So it's smaller. The price isn't that much different. It's like they're kind of, I guess the cost is just in the plastic and the tooling. So it still hinges, same thing, 12 volt, lights up red. I didn't set up a demo for it. It only has 3 wires. It has a buzzer. Basically, if you only want to like alert when something happens and you don't want to have multiple different states, you can just grab this one. It's much smaller, much more compact. Put on your desk.
Okay. That's that. All right.
Yeah. So these are cool. I can't wait to see what people do with these. I think this is going to be useful because I went actually to McMaster Car because I was like, well, what, you know, can I get these from McMaster? And they're like $200. Like they're industrial scale, amazing, hardcore ones.
I kind of believe this is the Internet of Things, hello world for hackathons.
Are you kidding? This is going to be on like Kickstarter in like 2 hours.
Well, what I think would be great is if you had like a classroom setting or a workshop and everyone's using something like Adafruit.io, and whoever can cobble together their Internet of Things service to get the light to light up first, you know, wins. And it doesn't matter how you do it. It just matters, like, you know, doing it. And then the next one is, okay, I got that. Now make an interactive game of Simon, or do something else, or have it flash green 4 times. Yeah. So you could build on top of skills with that. So
yeah, no, I think this is like a really awesome, fun toy, and it's easy to use and it's hard to break. So yeah, I mean, I definitely think every hackerspace should have one of these for something. Could also be used as bathroom occupancy sensor. All sorts of things you could use it for.
Yeah. all sorts of things your startup will try to solve. Okay.
Okay.
Next up.
Little header for feather wings. This is the matching part for the slim female socket header for feather wings. Basically, if you just want to have very cute, slim feather setups, we will have more feather wings in the store soon. We are designing them around the clock and manufacturing them. But this basically, you don't have to clip the headers, and they just make it very, very slim. Very compact.
Next up, we got a book. This is Make Bluetooth, and it features a lot of Adafruit stuff.
Yes, I mean, the cover is like everything manufactured at Adafruit. We manufacture the Arduino, we manufacture that NRF 8001 breakout. This is by Alistair Allen, Don Coleman, and Sandeep Mistry. Sandeep is also doing stuff with Arduino right now. Three of the sharpest minds in the industry, and they've been working on this book for quite a long time, and we're happy to carry it. And not only do we carry it, but we now have a parts pack. They asked us, hey, can you carry a pack for this book? And we did.
Okay, so that's the book, and here's
this is the parts pack. So
what's in it?
You get a, you don't get an Arduino because I assume a lot of people will have that already. So pick up an Arduino if you don't have one. You get an NRF 8001 Bluetooth Low Energy module. You get, I think, a BME 280 temperature, humidity sensor. I don't think it does barometric pressure. I can't remember. Maybe it's barometric pressure and temperature. I can't remember which one exactly, but it's a little sensor. You get a NeoPixel ring, you get a MOSFET, you get switches, you get buttons, you get a rotary potentiometer, you get a power supply, and you also get a bunch of LEDs, resistors, and one of the projects is making a BLE door lock so that you could start your own Kickstarter campaign on a Bluetooth door lock. So it comes with a door lock type solenoid. You get that going, and a breadboard and some wires. So it's just, you basically get it 20-25% off if you buy the pack. You pick up the book, pick up an Arduino. You'll still need a couple of soldering tools and some other hand things, but you pretty much have everything you need to do nearly every project in the book.
Yeah, and I kind of like this the vibe that's been going on with these books. So we don't get to decide what Make writes about. These are what the authors that work with Make decide is the best, easiest way to teach people something like Bluetooth. And although we'd love to see all authors use our stuff because it's supported, there's code, some don't, but the really good ones do. So it's kind of a test. It's like when you look at the choices with books, the authors who don't make hardware want to pick the thing that they can teach their readers how to do this stuff the easiest, and also the most available, not just like random stuff from all different places. And so that was a pleasant surprise. Like we don't have anything to do with the process.
They kind of
they're just like, hey, we did a book with your stuff.
I saw the cover and I'm like, whoa, okay, it's using our stuff. And then we're happy to put in a parts pack because we have everything in stock. So thanks, folks. It's a great book too.
It's validation that we're doing a good job. Where just people randomly will tell us about a book that's already written that uses our stuff. And they believe that we're going to be around long enough, and all of our stuff is really.
That's true.
It's not. We're not a a one-off company that just has one product only. We have 3,000 products.
And then I want to mention that this is a really good companion book to K-Town book. K-Town also wrote a book. Kevin Townsend, who designed the Bluetooth board that you see here. He wrote a book, but it's more about the underlying protocol. So this is a project book, and that's more of like more of an in-depth analysis book. So I actually suggest both. If you're interested in BLE, like these two books will teach you the underlying protocol, and then you'll get to actually build projects with it. So it's kind of good. You'll be like, what is a GAT? And then you're like, oh, hey, I'm building a project and modifying the GAT.
Okay.
It's all good.
Next up.
This is another accessory for the Pi Zero. It's basically just like the HDMI to VGA converter that you know and love that we've had in the store for quite a while. But this one comes with a mini HDMI connector on it, so you just plug it right into your Pi Zero. You don't need an adapter.
That's cool. Okay, and then last but not least, the star of the show, besides you.
Yay.
Maybe, I don't know. Is
I'm also the star.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Like this is
this is kind of cool.
This is a neat product. So
this is neat. This is a large chainable display. I actually got these quite a long time ago and then kind of forgot to put them in the store. It's a very large matrix display. We have RGB, so we have RGB displays, but they're a little bit challenging to use. What's nice about this one is you only need 4 or 5 pins. You don't need a ton of RAM. It's simple, but basically if you want to build your own Jenny Holzer display with like scrolling text, this is perfect, and there's a great library to use it too. So these are 2 of the displays chained together. and we have a lovely animation. It's only red and green, and then you can combine it to make yellow. As you can see, the heart, it goes red, green, yellow. So it's not going to be as colorful as the RGB LED matrices, but it's a heck of a lot easier to use. Like you can use this with any processor. It's just SPI bit bang, and they're really big. Like it's like if you want a display that can be seen from across the room, these are very large displays. But yeah, you can have little notes and dancing, and there's an Arduino library. So yeah, it's a fun little display. Combine this with the NeoPixels, and you can have all the lights.
Okay, and with that, Lady Ada, those new products.
There's a lot.
Congrats. Okay.